What is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped, back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're hopping into Garp's challenge Eneru with the final rendition of free-to-play subs. So, this was by far the most tricky to build, but actually got it done fairly well. Now, the big thing with this particular team is bringing a friend V4 Law. Without V4 Law, this is not doable. Obviously, we are running ShiraSherri as our leader, and without them, it's not doable either. But we are literally just relying on V4 Law's like end of turn damage, depending on how much damage you take, to basically carry us through this run. And with using ShiraSherri as our leader, we can actually guarantee us end of turn healing every single turn. So as Sherri, you get 5 times recovery at the end of your turn healing. She also boosts her own attack by 1.2, and then Cerebral, Free Spirit, and Striker carries by attack by 3 times. But the 5 times recovery is the main thing. As you can see, I have a lot of recovery candy on my ShiraSherri. And Shirahoshi gives us, something like, 800, so almost 4k healing every single turn. Where Sherri gives us something ridiculous like, what is that? 1600, oh mate, quick maths. It's like 4k healing every single turn. And then with the Liberal Hind and auto sockets, we're getting like 6k healing every single turn. Then you've got pinch healing on top of that. You've also got meat orbs coming into the play. Like, the healing on this team is just, it's so damn nice. And then obviously we're just taking so much damage because we are stalling every single turn. And then V4 Law is throwing that back. Now with this particular team, I don't know if that, see that right there, my 465, that might have been the key. But if you are running this team, I would highly recommend having as much recovery candy on this unit as possible, as the more healing you guys can get with this unit, the more damage you can take, and the more damage you can deal with V4 Law's amazing captain ability. Now, with this particular team though, the downside to this team is no unit is actually getting buffed by Sherri, except for Luffy and Boa, when Boa is in just the Boa form. So when you go into their dual form, you lose that, but they're here purely because when you switch with Boa and Luffy, you can actually get a heal. So when you switch with them, they give 3% healing to your maximum HP, plus this is a Boa unit, which means that because it's a Boa unit, we can actually trigger Law's super typing. Works really, really well. Next we have the Treasure Map Reiju, the one that just came out on OPTC Global. She's on this team because she removes damage reduction by 5 turns, so we need her for the final stage. Next, we have Croc on this team. He's here because he removes Despair, which is very, very important for the final stage. And then finally, we have Clash Carrot. Again, she's here purely to remove the defense up on the final stage. Now, she can use her special twice, but if I recall correctly, I think I only used her special once at the end. I might have used it twice, but I think I only used it once. Once we get to the end, though, we're literally just relying on Law to just hit as hard as he possibly can. So I would try and find a Law that has as much attack cotton candy and has max barrier pen. Having max barrier pen is very, very important, as that way he can actually just bypass Enel's barrier, and you don't have to worry about hitting through that extra HP that Enel has. But that's the breakdown of the team, guys. Let's hop into the run, and let's see how the free-to-play subs INT variation did. And I will let you know, this was actually a lot of fun to do. But building this team was really sort of like head-scratching until it actually got put into practice. But, like I said, it was a lot of fun. Alright, so here we are over at Garp's challenge Eneru, and as you can see, we managed to find a friend that has a lot of cotton candy. So, this Law's pretty stacked. He isn't rainbowed though, but 540 cotton candy is pretty nice. Obviously, the more HP that we have on this particular team, the nicer it's going to be, as when we get to the end, it does get a little bit shaky, I won't lie. It gets a little bit shaky, and honestly, I would highly recommend running as many HP boosting supports as you possibly can if you are trying this team. But let's be real, I would not recommend running this team if you are trying to beat it in. I mean, if you're really struggling with in and this is all you have, then go for gold. But I'm sure there's better int units, and I'll leave a card up the top for my actual int run to show you guys what I used. As there is just easy ways to do this. I imagine Blackbeard, Katakuri, all those units will be very, very good. And I will be throwing together a few teams in the future for you guys with those particular units. But if you have any requests, check out the membership program if you want to make a request. and want me to do it with a particular unit, let me know. If you want to become members, I will leave a link in the description as well. So on stage 2, we come up against 3 of the Skypiea lackeys, and as you can see, they hit us so damn hard, but Law just hits back so much harder. Now, as you can see, we actually got pretty lucky here with meat orbs, which is very, very good. And with this particular team, ShiraSherri is actually going to have more recovery. So if you can stay as ShiraSherri, you're going to actually get way more recovery just by having her out. And if you switch with Boa and Luffy, you are going to get 3% healing every single turn. But with this particular run, we actually had a meat orb on our Luffy and Boa. As you can see, the healing from Luffy and Boa getting that meat orb is actually just way better than using their switch ability. Once I think it's Otoro and Totoro, I think that's what they name or something like that. Once they hit you, Law is actually just going to throw back heaps of damage. And then the next turn, because we didn't get a meat orb on our Luffy and Boa, we can utilize their switch ability just for the extra healing. Now, don't hit your perfects on this stage, as you do take burn damage. We are, like I said, we're just relying on Law here to get through and do as much damage as possible. All we need to do on this particular stage is actually just break the barrier and then let Law's end of turn damage do the rest. Now, it does take a couple turns on this stage to take out these two, but just keep using your switch ability of Boa and Luffy to get the heal. Stay as your ShiraSherri unit, so that way you're getting extra healing, and then just rely on Law to do the extra damage. Take them out, easy claps. Moving on to stage 4 now. On stage 4, we come against Wiper and 2 of his Skypiea friends. Unfortunately, we did get the 1-turn cooldown on this particular stage. They do have a preemptive where they cut our HP, but as you can see, Law's just going to throw that damage straight back at them. So all you want to do here is just keep switching with your Boa and Luffy. That way you can keep getting the healing end every turn. But on this particular stage, you do want to use the super typing of Law. If you use the super typing of Law, you will get a 50% HP buff. And then you can actually attack the guys at the back. Now, actually, I didn't actually switch with Luffy and Boa, mainly because I actually just wanted to kill one of them. Now, I didn't want to take too much damage here. As you can see, they hit us pretty damn hard. But I just really wanted to kill one of them, so that way the end of turn damage can kill the other one, and then I can worry about Wiper on the next turn. So that's why I'd stayed as a full int on that particular stage there. I really just wanted to kill one of the Skypiea units in the back, and then I can focus on Wiper on this next turn. So switch with your Luffy Boa, get that healing, utilize ShiraSherri to get some more healing as well, and then let Law just do the rest. On stage 5, we come up against and I think it's Pierre, but I feel like it's not Pierre, you know. On this particular stage, they are going to put up 4 turns of threshold just on You're going to get locked to as well for 4 turns, and if you don't kill on the first turn, he's going to give 4 turns of attack down, which is very, very annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Now, I actually goofed there. I didn't mean to hit that perfect. I really should have eaten that meat orb, but as you guys can see, it's really not the end of the world, as we still managed to get this done. We took a lot of damage there, but if we ate that meat orb, we would have been fine. And as you can see, the Law just throws so much damage back. That 100, I think it's something like 100 times his attack, depending on how much damage you take as well. It's just ridiculous. It's actually insane. He's such a good unit when there's no normal attacks only. Now, as you can see, we didn't manage to take this guy out here. We just managed to survive. Then we can throw Law's damage back. And that's why I recommend having as much HP as you possibly can on this particular team, especially having supports. If you have supports that just give you more HP, it's going to be way more beneficial than having attack. As like I said, we are just relying on Law's end of turn damage to basically carry us through this particular piece of content. On the next stage, we come against Kidatsu and I don't know the other guy's name. I like to call him the bald-headed dude with the weird sword, but I mean, it is what it is. What we want to do here is switch with our Luffy Boa, so that way we can switch into our Boa to get the heal. And then we're going to switch with our ShiraSherri, so that way we can be ShiraSherri to get the extra end of turn healing. And then we got very lucky there with a meat orb, and we actually can tank this particular stage with that meat orb and the end of turn damage from ShiraSherri. They do have end of turn damage here, which is a little bit annoying, but it's not that much damage that it will kill us, in the sense that we can sort of just tank that extra shot. On the next turn, we're going to switch with Luffy and Boa, so that way we can get a little bit of healing, and then we can focus all of our attacks on the bald-headed guy. Now, we did get very lucky with a meat orb on this particular stage, so that is something to note here. But it's still like obviously doing this free to play is very RNG based. Whether or not that was the difference maker is another story. But what we're going to do here is we're actually going to use ShiraSherri special just to be safe. That way we can get a full board of orbs as well as get a massive full heal. And then we can sort of single tap on this particular stage. So that way we can move on to the next. But as you can see, I don't know what I was thinking here, like why I thought it would be a good idea to just attack. But, I mean, it is what it is. We're going to take a lot of damage here. And that means we're going to throw a lot of damage back. At this particular point, I actually thought the run was done for. As I was thinking I needed about 24,000 HP to actually kill Eneru, like to sort of tank the shot from Eneru. But I just thought, hey, like I'm just going to keep rocking it and let's just see how we go. So against NL, as you guys know, he does stun our captains and then he does special bind our entire crew as well as give us that fear resistance. Very, very important here that you are switching with your Luffy and Boa as well as hitting perfects with them to get your pinch healing as well. Actually, I think, is it them with that pinching or might be Reiju? Reiju might be the one that has the pinch healing. On the next turn, second turn, Eneru is actually going to put up damage reduction and defense up. And this is where I get incredibly lucky and I actually get a meat orb on Carrot. That way we can actually get ourselves above 22,000 HP. And as you can see there, we took something like 20,000 HP from the big shot. And we just managed to survive. And that actually removes the stun. Now that the stun's gone, we can switch with our ShiraSherri. That'll remove the final turn of Special Bind. We can switch with our Luffy Boa. So that way we're an extra int unit. We can use our Carrot Special first. That way we can get the attack buff for our int units. We can use our Luffy Boa Special to give us a 2.25 times color affinity. We can use Reiju Special to remove the damage reduction. We can use Croc Special to remove the despair. And then finally we can finish it off with our Law Special to give us the massive orb boost. And with that, just having an orb on Law, we actually have enough damage to kill Enel. It's really, really crazy, actually, to be honest. Whether or not that's because we have the extra cotton candy is another story. I'm not 100% sure. But I think this Law did have max barrier pen off the top of my head. But we still managed to actually break the barrier before we even got to that point. So it didn't really matter too much if we had barrier pen or not. Do we have a chain buff? No, we didn't have a chain buff, unfortunately. Okay, so we didn't have the chain buff with Croc either. Okay, that sort of sucks. I brought Croc because I was like, it's just an extra buff to have the chain buff, but it is what it is. As you can see, we just break the barrier there, and then with Law hitting for almost 10 mil, we can clap Enel. So there you guys go. That was my free-to-play guide and my final free-to-play subs guide for the int variation of Garp's Challenge Eneru. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to belt that like button. And if you want to stay up to date with more OPTC content I post, hit that big red subscribe button as well. And if you want to be notified when I post my stuff, hit that little bell icon too. But guys, most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day. As always, I thank you guys for watching and I will catch you all in the next one. Lates!